mics are muted, right? All right, sorry about that. Hey, what up, everybody? Thanks for tapping in. I'm losing track of days and shit because we're doing this like Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays now. But today is Wednesday, and we on today with 203 Studios, man. We got Destructive Films over here to my right, Mindoff Music right here to my left.
What's cracking?
And if you're in Oxnard, or even just go through Oxnard, or you in the music business, you know who these folks are for sure, man. So why don't y'all say what's up?
What up, what up? I'm Destructive Films, here to represent myself, Mindoff and 203 Studios.
The head engineer, 203, and together we got a photo and recording studio in Oxnard.
Yeah, you couldn't go hand in hand, dude. I see a lot of artists that go to your studio when they record, they end up getting videos too and shit, like performance videos on the spot kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
That was the goal since the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, yo, like, they can, like, us teaming up, they can legit get everything that they need, you know, and slide out and not need anything else. You know?
Yeah.
Right. We have very like complementary like skills. You know, we thought if we
Yeah.
teamed up that we'd be getting people kind of coming through and getting like a little package deal done.
No, yeah, definitely. That's one thing that I like about that is that like when you go to your studio, it's like you come out with a mixed and mastered song, right? That was when we were dealing with Mindoff first. And then now with the videos, like, dude, you come out with like something to launch right off the bat, like a whole song and shit, you know? And I don't know how you work, but you could have maybe the whole EP and record music videos and shit and have a whole album ready to go and shit, dude, you know? And I think that's dope and shit, dude, you know? They definitely complement each other. But and today we're interviewing two people at the same time, so we're going to be back and forth a little bit, a little forward, a little back, a little side to side and shit, you know? All that good stuff. But, yeah, let's start off with Destructive Films, man. Like, kind of like, where'd you grow up and all that, bro?
I was born and raised in the city of Oxnard. You know, that's pretty much it. Well, I had both of my parents. I have two younger brothers and a younger sister, so I'm the oldest.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, got you. Yeah, so I'm the oldest, you know, so I pretty much been there all my life, you know, so I got a lot of love for my city.
Oh, that's what's up, man. Oxnard, California, born and raised and shit.
Oxnard, California, born and raised.
That's what's up, man. And what about you, Minda?
I grew up in Thousand Oaks, California, just up the grade right there. And I went to school at Thousand Oaks High, started playing guitar, and then I got into music. And then when I was going to Moore Park Community College, I started studying music, like, you know, seriously. Went to CSU CI, and then that's when I moved to Oxnard about 10 years ago. And I haven't left.
And you got an like Italian background, I believe you said, right?
Yeah, I'm Italian and Mexican.
Oh, all right, yeah. And you Destructive, you full Mexican?
Yeah, I'm full Mexican.
Oh, that's what's up, man. Yeah. And then like so going back to Destructive here, how, like what got you into like, because I would assume you started photographing first. I don't know why.
I didn't.
No? So my assumption is wrong and I just made her ask him myself and shit. Well, how did you start? Like when you first picked up a camera and shit,
Well,
bro, you know?
my whole background before video, before all that is music. You know, being in the studio and recording music. That's my background. And then from there, I kind of stemmed off to doing videos. And then from videos, I stemmed off to doing photos.
Oh.
So that's how it kind of worked out.
And isn't that where Destructive comes from?
Yeah, and that's where
Check the mic. It should be.
So originally it was
It's green though, like everything. Yeah, 3 mics, right? Yeah. All right, my bad.
Nah, you're
Because they were
good.
saying that you couldn't hear, yeah.
Yeah, so that's where that's actually where Destructive came from, because it was a group, Destructive Minds. So that's where the name came about.
Oh, really?
You know, yeah.
Okay,
it was three of us. It was Destructive Minds. We were making music, doing our high school shit, you know?
Yeah. So you were rapping and shit.
Yeah, I was rapping.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So I was doing that whole thing. But after high school, you know, things get serious. You got to pay bills. You got to do this. You got to do that. So I was like, damn, like I really want to make some money, but still be within the field. I was already thinking like that, you know, I was in my early 20s and shit. And so I just dropped the minds and put films behind it. And
Yeah,
that's
so
how
you
this-
were like Beyonce when she left TLC and shit. But you were like
shit, I guess so.
Nah, I'm just BSing, but that's a trip, dude. Cause like me, I can't rap and shit, right? But I
okay.
love music,
Right.
And you know when we linked up back with Young Dopey and Gangsta Wish and the West Factory and everybody, I was like what can I do and shit?
Right.
You get me?
Yeah.
And at least so you were in the actually rapping,
Yeah.
and was like, all right, I'm gonna start this other thing and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what's up,
Yeah.
man. And what made you go into camera and shit, or?
It's just something that I kind of fell in love with, you know. Like I just that's when like the 1080 started popping out, the 1080 to 4K and all that,
okay.
you know.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, it just started becoming more accessible and more popular. and I just really gravitated to it, and I don't know, just something told me like that's what you need to be doing, you know, whatever it was, that's what it told me.
Oh, all right, yeah. So you leaned out over to like just filming and shit.
Yeah, I was like, you know what, I'm cool out the rap. Like I really want to film. Like I really want to be that guy, you know.
Yeah.
And it was all just like I just want to be recognized in my city for that, you know.
Yeah.
And then it just kept growing bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger to where it's at right now.
Yeah. And was it always with music, or did you do like other type of video events like weddings or something like that?
I would say like 90% of like all my history and even right now is all music, because I just love it so much, you know. Like it's just what I love. I love to be within the music field, however I can be, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. I do a little bit of other things, but I feel like music related is like my true happiness, you know?
Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's dope, man. That's for sure. And what about you, Mindoff, dude? So, like, when did you decide that you were going to be into music and shit?
It was.
And I know you do all kinds of different music things, like guitar and instruments and shit, right? So
For me, it was high school. I was a swimmer. I was like competitively swimming, and then I got a shoulder problem. I was like 4-year varsity. I was like looking good, but then I stopped going at 5'10". Kind of a big strike there. You got to usually be over 6 foot to be swimming college. I got a shoulder problem, and it was like my junior year. I was like, man, I got to pick something else. So at the time, I loved the Beatles, and I decided to get a guitar. And then from there, it just kind of took off. And then when I was in college, I went to a rave for the first time. And then that's when me and my friends, we got a laptop, and we're like, oh, we're making house music on the laptop, and started taking a bunch of music technology classes at school. And then, from there, I just kind of got into recording and stuff. I went to a music production school in LA after I got a degree in music, and then ended up just randomly, I was just looking for studio jobs. And then I ended up in Record X in Ventura. And that's how I got plugged into the whole 805 rap scene, just off of just dumb luck, really.
Oh, that's a trip, bro. Yeah. And how was it like, for example, you actually went to school and learned the fundamentals of something and shit, right?
Yeah, because I told myself I like school, but I was like, if I really love this music stuff, like I better fucking be able to study it for a little bit, you know?
And when you learned instruments at this school too, kind of?
I did. I had to play guitar and like be proficient at that, you know?
All right.
So I had like guitar tests.
And they teach you how to do the engineering and all that stuff, like mix and mastering and all that.
There was a couple Pro Tools classes that I took at CSUCI, but really the technical skills I learned at Icon Collective in Burbank. That was where I was like, it was Icon Collective, and that was like I had to like apply, and I got in. It's like this like kind of famous, like really famous in the DJ world. A lot of like famous DJs have gone there, and they teach you how to make beats, how to do sound design, how to like write songs and record people.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that's pretty dope, dude. And what inspired you to kind of do that besides you like having to pick something new to try out, bro?
I've always loved music. I always loved music. It was always like a big part of like my family growing up. You know, my mom was always playing like Gypsy Kings. You know, my dad was always playing like AC/DC and stuff. But I think honestly, I think for me, it's like I love stories. You know, like I've always loved books. I've loved stories through music, and for me, the medium of like music seemed like the most like I could do it maybe.
Oh, okay.
And so then that's kind of like why I got a guitar. I was like, I wanted to be an author, but I was like, I don't think I can write a book. You know, I didn't think I had that in me.
Yeah. Hey, writing books would be dope, huh? That's why they have all these ghostwriters. Huh? There's a lot of dope stories out there and shit, and then people just can't put shit together sometimes, right?
It's just in their head, but it's like, how the fuck I get it out, you know?
A very particular kind of person to write a fucking novel.
Nah, definitely. Because even movies, I always think like movies, there's so many good concepts out there, but I bet you folks that have good concepts also don't have the skill sets to make a movie and shit, you know?
I love movies, dog. I love directors, Tarantino. You know, I was watching you like Wes Anderson?
I don't think I know him. You know, like I like a lot of stuff, but I'm not a fan of the people sometimes. Like, so I don't know like their names. Like, really? I'll just be like, oh, is that movie with that one guy that came out in that movie and shit?
That's on the same way. I was like, oh, do you like this director? He's like, I don't know.
I mean, unless it's like the old school movies. Like I was the movie junk, so like, which is weird because I don't know a lot of the actors and stuff, but like. You remember back when they were VHSs?
Yeah.
And they had video stores?
Yeah.
Well, I used to go to the video store every Thursday or Friday when the new movies came out.
Blockbuster or what?
And nah, this was Ruiz Videos back on Prairie and 104, bro. You know, Blockbuster and Hollywood Video. Hollywood Video came after, but Blockbuster was like where the rich people went and shit. You know, so I went to Ruiz Videos around the corner from my apartment building, and I would wait with my brother right there for the movies to come. So as soon as they got delivered, FedEx or whatever and shit, you know, back then I used to think it was like the movie god that would come and drop everything off and shit, you know? Then I would like I would be the first one to get the movie and take it home or watch it and shit. This was before Blu-ray and all that shit.
What was like the movie that you're always trying to get?
Well, everything new, dude. So we watched movies as a family growing up. So like all the Mel Gibson movies, like Lethal Weapon.
Oh, yeah.
All the movies like what's that guy's name? Steven Seagal movies like Under Siege.
So the action movies.
Yeah, all that stuff, dude. I think one of my favorite movies of all time is Night at the Roxbury with Will Ferrell.
I love that movie, dog.
Right? Yeah, it's so funny. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah, I've seen it like once or twice. Nothing crazy.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it's funny and shit. You know,
don't hurt me.
Yeah.
That's classic, dog. Classic.
But no, that's dope. So yeah, I had some ideas to make cartoon stuff.
That's
but like some real gutter cartoon stuff, I just don't know any artists and I can't draw. Yeah. So hopefully one day we'll plug in with somebody that's an artist and then we'll make that come out. But
I wanted to be a claymation like director for a little bit when I was younger.
Oh, that would be pretty dope to make the little like what was that, Gumby, right?
Yeah, Gumby or what? I love Nightmare Before Christmas. That one was
that
so
is
cool
dope.
to me, dude.
Dope. That's like way advanced shit now.
Yeah. A little more than I could chew at the time.
They do like milliseconds of movements or something, right? Like for every movement, they have to adjust the arm.
It takes forever, dude. Yeah. Forever.
And what about you? Media GTS said low-key Destructive can rap, no cap, dude.
Was cracking Media GTS.
You're gonna have to drop at least 4 bars before you
dude.
Damn, some classic shit, you know?
That's back in the day and shit, you know?
And for you, dude, like going back to you, like what inspired you to like, all right, I'm gonna do the camera work and shit, man? Or did you try other things before you picked up the camera and stuff?
Nah, you know what? Like I get really obsessive over shit, you know? So when I picked up the camera, it's like I really got locked in. I obsessed. I did the YouTube shit, you know? And I just spent fucking days, weeks, months on YouTube and just learning and trial and error. I never had nobody to really like help me or look up to or ask or nothing like that. So I always just went back to YouTube and learned my shit that way. And honestly, like it's gotten me to where I'm at. So like these days, I feel like you could just do it on your own. If you really want to learn, you're going to figure it out. You're going to go on YouTube and you're just going to lock in and make it happen. However, you know?
Yeah. And the tools are there, huh? Like before, remember like a camera, dude, like not everybody could afford a camera and stuff, huh?
Right.
And now it's like you have a phone and phones.
I mean,
good,
shit.
right?
I'll give me a phone and I promise you I'll make a hard ass video with it.
Right.
You know, it's just all about everything else, you know, like the lighting and this and that, like everything that plays into it, you know, angles and shots and color grading and, you know, but yeah, fucking everybody has a 4K phone. You can make a music video with a 4K phone, a hard ass one too.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Yeah, because I've seen a lot of these guys that shoot like commercial with the iPhone, and they be doing like flips and all this crazy stuff with the angles and shit. And then you don't even know that be happening until you watch it. And you're kind of like, oh, that's a dope ass scene. How they do that? You think they have some type of rig they built and shit, and it's just like some dude running and sliding on the table and shit, you know?
Yeah.
Like today, you know, shout out Yellow Hill, dude. We were like at a music video with him. He's doing some Squabble Up remake or something, you know? Remakes, and he had a video guy there, and the video guy was like punching the camera in and like taking it out real fast. So I'm like, damn, I want to see what that would look like and shit, dude, you know? Because like, what is that? It must be an effect, right? Like you're cheating it basically, right? Like kind of like boom, boom. And I was just like, oh shit, I got to check that one out, dude, you know? But no, it's dope to see a lot of different ones. A lot of different people do their techniques and stuff, dude. Like, what do you feel about people that say, like, oh, we fixed it on the editing and shit?
Fuck, try to get it right, like live, you know, like that's always like, damn, that's like worst case scenario. But try not to do that, because goddamn, you know, you could always just take a couple minutes and redo it or whatever, you know, because shit, it's a headache to try to manipulate some shit after, you know, that would have been so simple to do on the spot, you know.
We'll fix it in post.
Nah, don't say that.
You know, and I only ask that because I know, you know, my wife used to do photography a lot and shit, and I would always tell her that, like, oh, you can just fix that, like, Photoshop and shit. She'd be like, dude, that's like hours. and
Yeah, you're
shit,
adding so much unnecessary time.
They're like, you could take the right picture with the right lighting and the right angle,
Yeah.
and that's all you need and shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Pulling your hair out in the editing.
I used to think she was like kind of like, I don't want to say finicky, but like kind of like saying like you know how some artistic people, they get super artistic and they'll be like, nah, I don't do that, or like
Picky.
I don't roll like that, and it's just kind of like I got to get the right shot and shit, you know?
Yeah.
And I used to think she was like that, but then when I start seeing some of the pictures I take now, and I just be like, damn, that's shitty as fuck. Like, no amount of Photoshop can fix this.
Yeah, or it's
you know?
gonna take you a few hours, just to fix that one photo.
Yeah,
It's like, bro, it would have took you 2 seconds to just retake it,
Just
do it right.
retake it and shit,
Yeah.
for
You
real,
gotta
dude.
start with a good source, recording and with videos.
Yeah, no, right? Yeah. But not so like and both of you guys have had good success, dude. Like working with a lot of not just upcoming rappers coming out of Oxnard, but like a lot of like established talent already and shit, bro. You know,
Like, what? I feel like it was like the biggest blessing to like actually get to link up with Mindoff, honestly. Like I feel like that was just the best move possible. It only made sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was working with, most of the city already. I was working with most of the city already, and it's like, damn, boom, meshed together, and it's just like, fuck, it feels unstoppable right now.
Yeah, no, that
And
is
it feels
dope.
like we're just getting started, to be honest,
I remember when we were at Record X, I think, and shit, and you were mentioning that you were gonna do something and all that, and then when you guys made the announcement, I was like, damn, that's a badass fucking combo and shit, dude. You know?
We got a lot of messages saying that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
We
DMs,
match
like,
each other's energy good, man. Like
Yeah.
there's never like, oh, let's just like take it easy. It's like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Oh,
What are we doing?
Yeah,
What are we
yeah,
doing?
it's always like that.
Who reached out to who then? Who was the idea man behind that?
We might
collab
have
and shit?
different perspectives. What do you think? I know my story,
Well, I know technically, I kind of remember you dropping hints when I was a record act.
yeah.
Oh, he didn't want to get. He was scared of
He
getting
was like-
rejected.
he was like- He's like, man, if I was a studio manager, I'd be all over it. And I was like, and I kind of, and he did plant the video, but then it was like, we called on the phone, we talked about it, and we had this plan, like we're gonna do it in 5 months and da.
Yeah.
But I knew at the time that where I was at was a sinking ship, and then it all kind of collapsed real quick. And I called Destructive. I'm like, we got to do this like ASAP, like this weekend.
Yeah.
And I called him, and he saved me, dog. And we just got together. We threw it together, and it's just been like full speed ahead ever
I
since.
was like, I ain't ready for this, but fuck it, let's get it. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. No, and then you guys had the one location, and then ended up moving to where you guys are now.
Yeah,
right?
that's why. Cause look here, I had that one location, 203 Studios, and it was just like a photo film set. That's all it was in the beginning, and it was working cool, But it was like, nah, there's something missing, And then that's when everything started happening. I already had the location, and it's just like, bam. That's all.
It was when we started too. It was like going, oof.
Yeah.
It was such a big deal. It was so fun, man. And then we had to move, and I'm so happy where we ended up right now too.
Yeah,
We were just talking about this. Our neighbors are cool. We had no problems with them. We were just talking. It's like if your neighbors are a pain in the ass, it is a problem for a studio. dude.
Yeah, definitely. They're gonna be calling the police.
Yo, our
and
first
shit,
location
you know?
sucked when it came to that. It was like, damn, it was just a nightmare.
Yeah.
And they ended up saying like, we ain't gonna release it. We ain't gonna renew your guys' lease.
Oh,
They
that's
told me
right,
straight
that's right.
up.
Yeah,
And then I was like, damn, are we over? Is this it? Like, is this the end of the road? You
And
know?
it was crazy too, because it was like we had just like invested a bunch of money into it. Destructive came over that day, and we were like, let's buy a bunch of plugins. We bought it, and we remember like, that's it. We're good. We're good for a long time. And then literally 2 hours later, this guy comes walking in. I'm during a session for me, and he starts tripping. He's like, it smells like smoke in here. Where's the stripper pole? And I'm like, whoa, like slow down. Let me like, what's going on? He's like, I need to talk to this Rogelio. And comes in, bro, and it was a whole fucking thing. But I'm glad it happened, man.
Oh man, yeah. He's tripping on the stripping pole and shit.
Nah, he was just tripping because I guess they were tripping on him, like
okay.
like city shit or whatever the fuck,
Yeah, yeah.
And he started tripping on us. We're like, bro, I've invited you in here many times, so you could, because I wanted to be transparent. Like I wanted us to have no issues. So every time I got an opportunity, like I invited him in, like, come check this out. We added this, we got the pole, we got this, we cut a hole, we have a glass now, And he was cool with it. And then boom, all of a sudden he started tripping because they were tripping on him. So I'm like, damn, all right.
Yeah, because that kind of business is hard to not be transparent, right? Because you can't control your customers that
Right.
come in,
Yeah,
right? You
yeah.
know, and the
Oh,
in and
yeah.
outs and people wanting to blaze and all that
Mm-hmm.
shit, right? So eventually somebody's gonna smell something or see something
Yeah.
that they don't like, right? You
Yeah.
know. But nah, yeah, that's dope that you guys found a nice little spot, and it's actually a dope ass studio. The
Yeah,
other thing I was
appreciate
gonna say, it must cost a lot of money to get set up because like your photo studio was all painted,
Yeah.
right? Like you have a lot of murals and stuff,
Yeah.
and like obviously you do the furniture based on all the layout and shit,
Yeah.
dude. You know. But the new spot, I like it a lot more. I think both rooms are more spacious
Mhm.
Yeah.
to each
Way
other
more
and shit.
space.
You
Yeah,
know? I
we
think,
got
you know?
we got 3 rooms. Shout out to my boy Muggsy
Yeah,
Tattoos.
that's right.
He's in the 3rd room blasting up. You
Oh
know?
shit, I haven't
Yeah,
seen.
you haven't
that
seen
one
him.
and
You
shit.
need to
Yeah,
meet
yeah.
him. You know? Shout out to my boy Muggsy Tattoos.
Oh,
man.
that's dope, that's dope,
Muggsy might have the nicest looking room too.
Hey,
his is decked out.
Yeah,
Oh,
next
yeah,
time you
yeah.
go, you need to check it out. It's really nice in there. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. Now I like the new mural you guys were doing on that. Who's working on that and shit?
Oh, and Eternal Love. At least he's on Instagram as an Eternal Love, you know. So
shout out.
you know, but yeah, shout out to him. He just made it just look so hard and shit. You know, he did the whole destructive mural, and then on the other side he did like the Lean Cup, and like he threw the Media GTS and destructive films. That's what we're doing, mic drops and all kinds of other shit. You know,
I've been seeing those. Dude, those
So,
shits are
yeah.
dope. I think Knockout did one there too and shit.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he did it on the destructive side. Yeah.
So now you're gonna have different walls because I only
Yeah.
saw the destructive one. So you're gonna
Yeah.
have.
Oh,
different
there's
murals
another
and
one
shit.
now. You
Oh,
know,
that's
so you'll
dope.
see it.
Yeah, we're gonna be over there. I think next Saturday. and shit, you know?
Watch, you'll see it.
Yeah,
but-
no, definitely. So, like, going to you, Mindoff. So, like, how do you feel it is working with like multiple personalities, bro? Since they're all different artists at different stages in their career and stuff. Like, what are some of the challenges or like things that you run into that are complicated?
I mean, I love working with like personalities. To be honest with you, like, so when I graduated music school, the first thing that I did, I got a job offer for the YMCA. I was a lifeguard there, and they liked me, so they're like, "Oh, be a manager here," and that was my little taste of like corporate America, like a desk job. And dude, it was like dealing with like Karens and dealing with like HR, and like I have to come in a uniform every day. It was like eating my soul, you know? And so I was like, I can't do this. And so now when I come in and I deal with like different like rapper personalities and stuff, I much prefer it. I would rather deal with a rapper with a vision than with a Karen any day of the week, you know?
Oh, there you go.
So I'll have like, you know, people that are like brand new that with brand new people, their personality usually is that like you need to be really gentle. Because if they're kind of shy and they're not confident in their skill yet, you have to be gentle because they'll close up and then they'll feel like they're not doing a good job. So with that, I just try to be just really chill, really nice, make them feel welcome, make them feel like they're good enough to be here, you know? But then with rappers that are really skilled, they want feedback. They want to hear like, oh, try that again, try this again, you know? But with someone that's brand new, you want to be a little careful with like giving too much feedback.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you don't want to shut them down and stuff.
Yeah,
right?
they'll start thinking like, oh, fuck, maybe I'm not good. And you don't want that.
Yeah. And then, you know, one of the things I like, you know, I don't rap, but when we bring artists over there was like for example, we had that one instance where we had a beat and you added that guitar sound to it, dude. And that shit just made that beat like way fucking dope. And
Oh,
shit,
yeah,
you know?
yeah. Sometimes when people have me add a little guitar, Big E, I added some talk box on there.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, if it feels right, we'll just add a little spice to it.
And then you're always, I feel like a good vibe too, bro. Like it's not like you're just not there to get paid and shit. It looks like you're collabing and shit, bro. You know, that's the difference in the experience.
Yeah.
And, you know,
I learned that when I was, so I interned at Sony, and that was like a big lesson for me was I was at a bar in Thousand Oaks, and I was just drinking, and I was talking about like making music with my friends, and this lady walked up to me, and she's like, I heard you over talking about music. My boyfriend, he's like the head engineer at Sony. And I was like, oh. And she's like, come talk to him. And so I talked to them, and they invited me over to the Sony lot. And so I showed up in a suit and tie with like a little binder with like my like resume and stuff.
yeah.
And I get there, and they're like normal dressy, like and I gave him my resume, and he's like, you want to drink a beer and watch the Dodgers game? And I was like, oh, okay. And I realized like they just wanted to see if like I was a good chill, you know?
Yeah.
And that was a big lesson for me is like, you know, like if you're able to be a good shit and have a good time, that can get you into a lot of doors. You know?
Yeah. No, and definitely you see that a lot in like a corporate culture too. Like, like I'm a product manager by trade, right? So, when I was looking for a job, they would call you based on your resume, right? But they want to make sure you're not gonna go in there and fuck shit up, like the harmony they got going on, right? So you sometimes they'll make you go interview with like 4 different people and shit that you're gonna work with, and it's just because they want you to. Can you get along with all these 4 people? And if not, then we're gonna find out today.
It's the vibe check.
Yeah, right.
The vibe check, and that because you can learn shit on the job a lot of the time.
Every job they're gonna have to train you regardless of how they do it and stuff, right? So I know that that's super key now that people want to make sure you vibe with them.
Right, and rappers are the same way. They want someone they can vibe with.
Yeah, for sure. And I know that because I know Big E's always like I only fuck with Mindoff type shit. Like I know he's recorded somewhere else. And he'll be like, nah, I'm going to just redo it over there and shit, dude. Right. Which is dope, dude, you know, to build that rapport with people and shit,
Absolutely.
You know? Yeah, if I would have been a lifeguard and I got promoted to a manager, I would have been the only lifeguard with a suit and tie on that little on that thing,
Who
dude.
said that?
And blowing the motherfucking whistle to everybody and shit. No, I'm saying, because you say you were a lifeguard. You got
with a suit and tie?
I would have been
dude.
With the ripped sleeves on the suit and shit, dude.
Dog,
you know?
I was fresh out of college making 17 an hour as a manager, managing a 20-person staff of teenagers, dog. That was ass, dude. Fuck that, dude. Someone not coming to work every day, then I had to do it.
No. Like, look, I ain't your daddy, but I'm gonna act like that shit now.
I was way underpaid, dude. I would never do something like that for less than 40 an hour. No way.
Yeah, for real. Huh? Yeah, dealing with a bunch of teenagers and shit, you know? Especially depending what area they're in and shit too, you know?
Thousand Oaks kids.
Yeah.
Spoiled.
And so going to you, Destructive, like on working with different artists as well too, bro. Like what are some of the complications or challenges you come across? Like,
I mean, I think it'd pretty much be basically the same thing. Is like I do have to deal with a lot of different types of personalities, a lot of different types of egos sometimes, you know, shit like that. Like it's just kind of learning how to maneuver around different types of people. And I feel like I'm very good at that.
Oh, all right.
You know, I feel like I'm very good at just being able to read the room, the person, and just like kind of help them out where they need help at and kind of sit back when I feel like I need to sit back in certain areas, you know?
Yeah, because you have an approachable... You don't look approachable because you're kind of like talking and the beard and stuff. But when you get to know it, it's like you got a good vibe. And
for sure.
You know, you're very welcoming and shit, bro.
At the end of the day, I'm there to help you and I'm here to assist you. So whatever you need me for, I'm not going to walk up in that bitch and be like, I know everything and you're going to need to do...
They're like, shut up, you hire me.
I'm not that guy. You know, it's like, you know, at the end of the day, you also want to make sure that you have fun doing your shit and you have a good time. And at the end of the day, it was just a good video shoot. You know, you want to feel good about it too. You know, rather than being an asshole all the time and shit. Like ain't no need for that. You can make it look hard. You know, different ways too.
Yeah, one of our chat members here, Lisa, said, "Do you use drone cameras?"
Yeah, I use drone. I use drone, GoPro sometimes when it calls for it. The regular camera. You know.
Do you do like a lot of like what are those things called like? When they grip them on cars.
Car mounts?
Or like on the bikes or sometimes they put them on here so they catch somebody running. And
I haven't used that.
Nah.
I've used car mounts before and different types of mounts and shit. You just kind of grip it on and do your thing. Hey, sometimes you got to get creative with the angle type shit, you know? So, you got to.
Yeah, because, otherwise it's just, they look repetitive.
Yeah, man, as much as I can, like, okay, look forward and then maybe down looking up and maybe up looking down. And I just try to get creative with it. But it also has to fit the song, you know? Yeah. I can't go two-hand when the song's all mellow and shit, you know? Like, I feel like every video is different and it's... it kind of how you say it like I have to treat it like how the song makes you feel.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Yeah. Do you usually like to hear the song before?
Yeah, because you know what? Of course I do, because when I listen to the song, that's when I decide how I'm gonna shoot it. Am I gonna go with a stabilizer the whole time? Am I gonna go handheld? Am I gonna do a little bit of both? Do I need tripod shots? How does this song make me feel? You see, if it's a crazy rap song, they're just going ham with it, and it's just like I might just want to stick to handheld.
Oh, okay.
You know. Now, if it's a singer, if I'm dealing with Jamie, you know, shout out to the homegirl Jamie, I'm gonna stay on the stabilizer because you want some smoother shots. You know, she's singing, she's mellow, she's chill. You know, you ain't trying to go out crazy handheld on a song like that. How's it gonna look? It's gonna look crazy. You know, so.
Nah, for sure. And you've done some dope ass videos. My favorite video so far that you've shot, bro, is Take Care, the Big E one.
Is that the one we're in the studio? No,
yeah, with the white.
Oh
the white
shit,
background.
for real? Yeah, that's a recent one too.
Yeah. That shit's dope, dude. I've been bumping
appreciate
that
that.
song and shit. Actually, that's one of my favorite Big E songs and shit. And when I seen that video, I like the white thing reminds me of the Matrix movie and shit.
Oh shit!
But I like when you feel like the gunshot or whatever, and it breaks the glass. And shit. Like those effects are dope and shit, bro. You know, and it's like it feels like not too much, you know, but it's like different.
Right.
You know,
I if there's one thing that I try to do is try to keep it subtle. You know, a lot. I don't try to overdo it. But then that goes again to how is it making you feel? You know, that song isn't too like crazy. He's not going. He's kind of just riding the beat. You know.
Yeah, like he's complaining about what he's tired of and
what
shit. Basically, you know, right?
Yeah.
And I bet you engineered that song and shit.
I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
Tired of having my Glock. Tired of, you know, like to me, that's a dope ass one. How you guys did that, dude. You know, and that's a collab team workout. Just so you guys see that song when you look at it. That's Big E from Oxnard, Mindoff, and Destructive all putting that shit together right there, and it came out dope as fuck, dude. You know?
That's all three minds right there. You know.
Yeah. When I heard that one stayed on repeat for a while. I was like, damn. And then how he talks about some real shit. So shout out Big E, man.
Hey, you know what? And always with Big E, it's always the smoothest shoots because he trusts the process. You know, so it really helps. Like, you know, so it's always smooth shoots with him. It's just like we go home like, damn, we killed that shit like easy. Like this is what we do. You know?
Yeah. Oh, that's dope, dude. Yeah. And then how is it? I've seen you done some videos recently for Doggystyle too, dude.
Man, I worked with him last night. We've been working a lot lately. You know,
he's part of the new Deathrow Record thing that's going on, right?
I'm not sure. He might even be. I'm not too sure. You know.
Oh, okay,
I just do my thing, you know. But I'm not too sure. But
how did you make that connection, dude? If you don't mind me asking.
No, of course not. Yeah. So I linked with Doggystyle through Sav did it. So. Thank you, Sav. You know, appreciate you, fool. You know, shout out to you. So Sav did it. He's his engineer. He's from the IE or Long Beach, but you know, IE area. He works with people out there too. But anyways, okay. So he invited me to a studio session that they're gonna have. They did like this challenge. They left an open verse. You know when they do that, they leave an open verse and then they have people just jump in it. They picked a selected few, and they all had like a meeting at the studio and did their thing, you know? Sav's like, hey, come through. I'm going to be right here. We're going to do this. Down to get some BTS. I was like, hell yeah, you know? Say less, I'll be there, you know? So, I pulled up, did my thing. That's where I got to meet Doggystyle. He goes, yo, Destructive, like, you do music videos? I was like, that's my main shit, you know? So, thankfully, he gave me a shot with the first music video. He really fucked with it. He fucked with me and the energy and everything. And since that first one, we just kept working.
Oh, that's dope, dude. And he's a dope-ass artist, too, man.
He's hard as fuck.
Yeah, I remember the first song I heard from him, I was like, damn, that's jumping right there, bro. He has that classic look and that classic feel and shit, like the old 90s rap and shit, dude, you know?
Yeah.
That I fuck with. That's my favorite type of music.
Like, he does have that like old school energy and shit. Like, and that West Coast, he really like that West Coast shit.
And I don't know if he's from San Bernardino or Pasadena or one of those, right?
San Bernardino,
right? Yeah. So it's dope having that. When I saw him, and I don't want to stereotype or sound racist and shit, but I was like, oh, he's got to be from Compton and shit, you know? Because I thought that's where that talent, like, you know, that's where it comes from like that and shit, you know? And I was like, oh, man, that was dope, dude, you know?
Yeah.
So I have a couple of his songs on my playlist and shit.
So did I, you know, prior, you know?
Oh, right?
So did I. I was like, we were bumping him and shit.
And then, like, and I know every artist is different and different levels and shit, but what's like the biggest artist you work with, dude?
Fuck, I don't know.
Everybody right now that's watching is probably like, damn, he ain't gonna say my name.
Shit.
What about you, Mindoff? Like, what's the biggest artist you've recorded for, dude? You know,
Lil Reese.
Lil Reese and shit
From Chicago, yeah.
Oh, dope. So sometimes people come from LA, from different cities, and they tap in with you.
They sent me the stems.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, that's dope too.
Stems and I did a couple albums for him, yeah.
Oh, dope. So Lil Reese, how about you?
I really don't know. There's like there's a lot of them, you know. I don't know I can't say who's the biggest, you know. Like I really don't know who I would consider the biggest, to be honest. Who do you think? I don't know.
So,
I
don't
can't.
put me on this.
I think OT is.
Oh,
Probably,
okay, Mexican OT, but you know. I don't know. You see, I don't know.
See, I didn't know you worked with King Little
Yeah,
G
I worked with G before.
Oh
for
yeah,
sure.
he's the biggest artist, bro.
Yeah.
For
There
sure,
you go.
shit, dude. He was
Shout
on
out to King Little G.
he was on Rolling Loud, bro. Yeah, that's just dope. That's a dope ass show, to be honest. Shout out to King Little G, dude. He was doing his thing out there. He just had a show recently where the homie Young Buddha 323 coming out of West LA and shit right here, dude. The Jefferson Park area. Came out on that shit too, open for him and shit. So
Damn, that's hard. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Nah, that's dope, dude. And you also done videos for Young Dopey and shit too, right?
Yeah.
How did you plug in with Young Dopey and shit?
I remember I did the mandatory video for Young Dopey. That was the first project.
That's the hard. You know that everybody always says that's the
really?
hardest shit,
Yeah.
bro. You know?
Yeah, that was the first
the
time.
one he's on the bike with Wiz.
Yeah,
and shit?
yeah.
Oh man, that's a hard ass video. That's your favorite one too, no, dude? The mandatory,
yeah. That was a really cool project. That was the first time I got to, I think, even meet him. But I remember at the time he was like fresh out and he was just going crazy, you know. I feel like almost he had dropped that song. It's called Payback, I think.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I was bumping Payback. I was like, that shit's hard, and I fucked with that video heavy. And then he reached out and we got to work and boom, there you go, a couple milli right there.
Yeah,
you know,
that's a trip, dude. And you know what's something funny, dude? And shout out Young Dopey, dude, the brother right there, man,
out to
doing
Young
his
Dopey.
thing and shit.
Most deaf, super
Still
solid
grinding,
person.
yeah. Everybody that I talk to that knows him always says, I think he had just got out. That's the first thing everybody always says. I just talked to somebody this morning and say, oh, you know Dopey? I was like, oh yeah, that's the homie, man. He's like, yeah, I saw him like 5 years ago. He had just got out from, you know, like I think everybody meets Young Dopey when he just gets out and shit, dude, you know? No offense, homie, but you know, he probably like, yeah, I'm always getting out and shit, you know? But that's a trick, because you've also recorded Young Dopey and shit too, huh?
I remember when he came in for the first time, and I was with Big E, actually, and he's like, Mindoff, you don't know who's coming right now. Like, yeah, he's like, I was bumping this guy. I think it was the first time he had met him. And Dopey's a great guy, man. He's humble. He's got that OG vibe to him, you know, like wisdom and seasoned, you know?
Oh, yeah. And I don't know if a lot of artists can do this, dude, but like we worked on music together with him, and he'll tell me like this song right here, dude. He's like, this is gonna be a dope ass one. Like people are gonna fuck with it. And every time he calls it out, it happens that way, dude.
Yeah, he knows. You know? He knows his fan base.
Yeah, and it's crazy because
he knows it.
Yeah, he'll see it and he'll be like, "Wow, I just get this feeling, bro." And then Never Fold Under Pressure, they great, and he called that one out. And the other one, I Keep Slipping, Keep Falling. That one we recorded right there at your spot at Record X, and I think Mark Ford recorded that music video. And that one hit the like 100K and shit too, you know. And I was just like, damn, the homie really knows it and shit.
Yeah,
you know?
shit. He knows what he's doing. You know, he's in his position for a reason.
Recipe and shit, dude, you know?
He's like Babe Ruth. He's calling that home run.
Yeah. So, and this goes to both of y'all, because there's a lot of artists. Like music's so saturated right now, right, bro? Like there's so many artists doing their thing. To me, it's even hard to see who stands out, because sometimes you don't even hear about this guy and he has talent. Like, what would you tell for an artist that's barely coming up, now that you have experience working with so many artists and all that? Let's say somebody's gonna like start rapping, dude. Like, what would be one of the things you would want to like, hey, look out for this type shit, you know?
I know what I would say. I'll say just do you. Don't try to be like everybody else, because that's how you're gonna stand out. Don't try to sound like this person or that person. As much as like them, you know, maybe take some you know, sauce from them or whatever you feel, you know, but at the end of the day, do you, because nobody could do you better than you can do you.
Yeah.
You know, so that's my biggest one right there for sure.
Yeah, and if you're capping, it's hard to keep the cap going forever. What if you blow up? You gotta cap for the rest of your life.
I feel like if you're capping, like people will catch on to it. People are not dumb. People feel the energy. People see through people.
Yeah, that's true.
You can't fool everybody, you know? So you can go ahead and try to cap, but you're gonna
it's not gonna work out.
It ain't gonna work out
9 out of 10 times and shit, you know. And what about you, Mindoff, dude? You know,
I would say something kind of similar. Like, don't go chasing fame. You know, like you should be falling in love with the artistry, because you can tell right away somebody that's obsessed with fame and being famous, and they'll say things that aren't real. I record people sometimes that be saying things that I know are not true. It's like, I know you don't have shooters, dog. Like, why are you saying that? You don't have shooters. Why are you saying that? You know? So everyone has a unique perspective and story. So lean into that, you know? Everyone, like Destructive saying, they're going to know if you're not true to what you're saying, and that's corny, you know?
Well, that's some good advice, dude. You know, and that's really good just in life in general. I think, right? Kind of like not to pretend that you're somebody you're not, and just like be the best that you can as your person and shit. You know?
Yeah, but I mean, think about it. Everybody's always looking for something new, for the new person, the new sound. They don't want to hear another this or another that. You know, it's like they want something new. And that's how you're really, really gonna pop by being yourself and giving them
that takes work though. You know, it's easy to kind of just like look at what's out there and then just carbon copy it. And sometimes those people get rewarded at first, you know, because they're kind of doing something that people are familiar with,
like a trend and shit,
you
right?
know? Yeah. But then when you have people that dig into their artistry and then rise from that, like, you know, someone like a Kendrick Lamar or a Doechii, like they reap the rewards big time, because then they set new patterns, they set new art styles and new genres and things like that. So yeah, invest in yourself, be yourself.
Oh yeah, that's dope. And what's your favorite kind of music, Mindo?
I listen to all kinds of things. I've been listening to a lot of OC Funk lately. In my car rides, I'll put, because it's summer now, dude, I'll be putting the window down, listening to Zapp and Roger and shit.
Oh shit, yeah.
I love house, I love jazz. I'll be listening to I like listening to rap, but I like more like Shmino, like Amphetamine. I love that song. All kinds of stuff, but I got music ADHD, so I be changing all the time.
Yes, I've never heard of Shimo and shit.
Shmino is so
Smino,
good.
yeah.
Shmino from Amphetamine, dude. Listen to that song. He's from the Lou, St. Louis.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, he's one of the best. Honestly, I put him in my top 5. He does not get enough credit. He's amazing.
Yeah.
And then I do like who did I show you Destructive I love from LA?
Recently?
Fuck what you think.
Oh, Zoe Sama.
Zoe Sama, I love
Zoe Sama. I haven't heard of him either.
I love Zoe Sama. He's just a good time, man.
Oh, that's dope. Yeah. I haven't, and then that's the thing. That's why I like asking that question, because I found out about a lot of new artists, and then I'll go on YouTube it after, and I'll be like, oh shit, that's dope. Let me add that to the playlist.
You'd fuck with Zoe Sama for sure. Yeah.
And you know, a lot of ways that I find out new songs too. Like I just found out about Giovanni something. I forgot his name. I just really found out about him.
Giorgio from Daft Punk.
Let me actually, now that I mentioned it, I gotta look it up. My bad, guys. You know.
You're good.
But But meanwhile, like who's your favorite? What kind of music you listen to, dude?
I grew up to like the old school, like West Coast, like gangster shit, you know, like Dre, Snoop, even like Bone Thugs, Eazy-E, Exhibit, you know, DPG, all that shit, you know, even some Brother Lynch. And then on the other side, I also grew up to like the Chicano rap shit, you know, like that's what I was bumping too, you know.
Yeah.
I was bumping
like Slow Pain and that.
Yeah, Conejo, Little Rob, fucking all these fools. Like I was bumping this shit for sure.
Conejo for sure is one of the guys that have withstood the test of time, right?
Yo, that was been doing it. Like
yeah.
actually, like
and it actually he blew up like into the movie scene, right? Like and all that, right? Like
I feel like to me, in my opinion, I feel like he's like the biggest like Chicano artist, rap artist that blew up the biggest because of that. You know, he's gotten to be in big movies and shit. Like, and he's
he's just on that one movie right now with the Statham guy. What's his name?
Jason
the mechanic.
Yeah. That was in big ass blockbuster movies. Come on, like,
I know,
please name another person. I don't know. You know?
Right?
Like damn.
No, I think that's dope, dude. He's been doing his thing for sure. I used to bump Little Rob a lot and shit, and RBL Posse, but like I have a playlist and shit, and I just play that playlist. Like it's like hard for me to find new music, because I'll go into my car, I plug in my phone, and then it just plays the playlist I always have. Yeah. So it just cycles through that shuffling. So I hear the same songs every day. I mean, obviously I have like 100 or 200 songs in there, but they mostly pay your favorites, right? So I mostly hear the same songs. So when I hear a new song like this guy, Payroll Giovanni is his name. I just looked him up. and I like his music, but I only heard about it because somebody posted it on Instagram and it had the tag on this music, and I was like, oh, let me check this out. And then I ended up finding a new song that I like that and shit, you know?
Yeah.
Like, how do you guys still find out new music? I mean, obviously, you guys are working with the music before it even hits the streets in a way, no? But, like, how are you guys finding new music right now? Still the radio or anything like that?
Sometimes I'll be too lazy. I'm not going to lie, and I'll do that. I'll, like, fall into just, like, listening to the same playlist. But then eventually, sometimes I'll be like, all right, I need to... I'll just like, start digging through Spotify. Like, yeah, like a record store, you know? Like, if you, like one song, and then it'll recommend another one, go through that. Another thing I like is Anthony Fantano, the Needle Drop. You know him?
Mm-mm.
No, he's a YouTuber. He's like the world's biggest like music critic, and he just reviews like albums. And yeah, he has like good recommendations sometimes.
Oh shit! Yeah. I remember record stores and shit. They still have them and shit.
Fuck yeah, dude! Records have made a big comeback. Because now it's like Spotify is like you don't own anything, so like I don't know. I like to collect records, so like if there's something I love, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna buy the vinyl of it.
Yeah, my son just got into vinyls and shit. He's 14 and shit, but I think they're like hipsters or some shit.
Yeah.
But I remember Sam Goody. You guys remember Sam Goody?
Yeah.
I used to spend a lot of time with Sam Goody.
Yeah, throw on the earphones real quick.
Then I got banned because they said I was stealing from them. But you know, shout out to Sam Goody and shit, allegedly, dude. You know?
Like I was just trying to listen to some music.
Yeah. Oh, you mean I can't take that home and shit? Nah. Yeah, that was funny. What about you, Destructive? Where do you get
to keep it 100? Usually, like artists be like the ones that be like, you know, hey, have you heard this? Have you heard that? And I just listen to everybody, you know, like everybody that they recommend. Like I'll listen to it, you know, and then sometimes they'll stick to me. I'll be like, oh shit, this word, you know, this word, you know. But like everybody's always showing me like, hey, have you heard this or knew that? And that's it, you know. I don't even have to dig. Like everybody just be showing me.
Yeah. Oh, that's dope and shit, no? And who do you say is the dopest artist, or my speech, the dopest artist coming out of Oxnard right now, then? Because there's a lot of talent coming out of Oxnard.
That's probably the most difficult question ever right there.
Oh, really?
Honestly, yeah. Oh, right now.
Yeah, right now, yeah.
Okay, right now. Who do you think, Mindoff? Shit.
I feel like I gotta give Jamie her flowers, because Jamie, like, she's consistent, she's hardworking.
She's doing shows,
talented.
And shit too, right?
You know what?
Yeah. Like, there's so many talented people out there. So I don't want to say she's the only one, but I have to give her flowers. She's a fucking hustler, Jamie.
Oh, dope.
She's talented, hardworking. Her vocals are hard. Her songs are hard. Her performances are hard. Like shit, you know.
But there's so many people. Big E, Tato.
Yeah.
Tato is. Me and Destructor were talking. Tato. I have to say, Tato is seeming like he might be having the biggest impact on the youngsters in Oxnard right now.
Oh,
I have a lot of like, you know, young people will come to the studio and want to record, and I notice a lot of them want to sound like Tato.
Yo,
really?
I had a youngster the other day. Like he's like, hey, tell Tato to shout me out.
I like, do that, bro.
But yeah, I feel like he has a lot of younger, loyal fans, like for real.
Yeah,
like, they really fuck with him, you know? So that's hard. That's good. Yeah. Everybody has a little bit of, another person is Cam, you know, Cam the Guapo. He works really hard too, and he's been pushing it as much as he can, and he's out there, you know. There's so many of them, you know, but they're all good at different things, you know. They're all different. They're all unique.
Oxnard is a fertile ground for artistry, and you know, it's a small little place, but there's so many talented people out there. It's a blessing to be a part of that scene. I love it.
Yeah, that's dope. And Tato, I've seen that. He's part of Leo the Fool's camp. I think it's the first time I've seen him in his music videos, right?
Yeah.
I think he had done some verses. The first time I heard of him, but again,
you're probably talking about that was Players, or what was it called? Homies Freestyle.
Oh, all right.
With PMF, huh?
Yeah, I saw a video, and I think one of them, they go and give pizzas to the city or some shit in the video.
Was it Homies Freestyle with PMF? He said, lifestyle hectic, band on my neck. This fucker, then I exit. She's still double texting. Oh, I miss PMF. Shout out to PMF, man.
That's what's up. So my favorite Oxnard artist coming out that I think right now and shit, not that it matters, but I like to give my opinion anyways and shit, you know?
It's good to hear from somebody outside looking in, you know? So, who do you think?
Apart from Big E and Roto G, I think Roto G is one of the most underrated Oxnard artists there is.
Underrated
Absolutely.
is a perfect
sure,
word for
you know?
Roto. Yeah,
And he's a grinder, bro.
Yeah.
His voice is dope. His lyrics are deep, dude, for sure. Big E, obviously, he's an established artist to me already in
Right.
Oxnard.
Yeah, he's already.
But I think
yeah.
Leo the Fool.
Yeah,
Leo the
Fool's
Fool.
hard.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
that's
Good
another
guy,
good
too.
one right
Yeah.
there. Yeah, that's.
I think he's
Yeah.
just not consistent. And no offense, bro. This is my
Nah,
opinion and shit from
yeah.
looking out into YouTube
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I don't know him, you know.
Right.
But I like that song for live he did with Oxnard Pug.
A hard ass.
And shout out to Oxnard Pug.
Oh yeah, shout out to
another
my boy
established
Oxnard,
Oxnard artist, right?
Yeah.
You know, yeah, I still bump him, but I like that song he did for life with Oxnard Pug.
That's a hard ass project right there.
I like the recent one that you just filmed. He's in his car cruising. It's a freestyle, I think, too. And shit.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
He just hasn't been consistent. He drops something, then takes a vacay. Or I mean, you don't know what's going on. in
Yeah,
life,
you know,
bro,
they all go through their thing. But
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what? I'm gonna shoot with him on Friday. A matter of fact.
Oh yeah,
with
yeah,
Leo. Yeah.
Oh, you'd
So-
be like, hey, check out the podcast. The homie say the best upcoming artist at Oxnard, dude. And he is from Oxnard too, right? He's not like from the
Nah, he's
Ventura
from
and all that,
Oxnard.
right?
He's from Oxnard.
Yeah. Oh, that's dope, dude. Yeah. To me, he's the one that's up and coming that has mad talent because that No Education song, fire as fuck, bro. You know? Where he remade that beat and then he
Yeah.
goes into the Bone Thugs. Whoever thought of that creative process
He did
and
that.
shit?
He was like, put this bone. I was kind of like, dude, it's a different tempo. It's a different key.
That shit sound hard.
You
That's
sure
my
you want to
favorite
do
part,
this?
bro.
But hey, there you go.
that's my favorite part, bro. That song and shit, how he mixes in, like. So that's one song that's on my playlist that I stay bumping and shit, bro. You know?
But you know what? But as you said right now, like consistency is the most difficult thing for everybody to keep. You know, like shit, life happens, shit happens, this, that.
Oh, speaking of consistency, shout out to Big Time Bake, dog, who's been he's consistent as fuck lately.
I haven't heard of him. Big Time Bake?
Yeah.
From Oxnard too?
Yeah, and he's been just.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check him out.
Every day that I wake up, there's a reel of this guy straight up.
Literally.
Yeah, I'm like,
man.
damn,
It's
this
paying off.
fool's going crazy
Yeah,
with
he's
it.
really trying to put in that work,
Yeah.
and it's paying off.
You guys, on social media, if you're using that as your marketing platform, you gotta be, I think, on all three. It's hard to manage all three platforms for off the gate as one person for sure, right? So even because in each platform, you gotta be posting like 2 to 3 times a day minimum, just to keep on the algorithm and the consistency on that, you know? Because just us on Instagram alone, I'm posting daily, twice a day, we have seen a big uptake. But you gotta have all that content to post, otherwise you can't keep posting crap because you'll lose the followers. And
Yeah, I
shit,
mean, I
you
guess
know?
it's kind of like you're almost like a TV channel. It's like if you're not, you don't got something for the viewers to watch,
They move
follow,
on.
you know?
Yeah, they move on to the next one and shit, dude.
You know?
Then you'll be that one person like, oh yeah, I remember the Champion City, dude. They used to do this podcast and shit. That was shit. I use myself as an example and shit, you know? Yeah. Nah, that's dope, dude. My bad. I like to clown around a lot.
Nah,
and
that's
shit,
dope.
man, you know?
What,
That's
I look
like,
like a clown to you?
And you know, when I'm in the studio, I hardly talk, huh? It's
no.
like right now, fucking
This will be yapping, dog.
I'm mostly just observing shit, and I'd be like, yeah, it's about
Hey, would
that
it be
time. Hey, you
inappropriate
know
if
what?
I asked Jasmine to give me a beer?
No, go ahead, dude. This is like super unofficial type shit right here, dude, you know? We've had people trip over the lights,
Really?
the camera falls,
Who
and
tripped
shit,
over the
dude,
lights?
you know?
Oh, did somebody get a lighter?
Yeah, I wouldn't put no names out there with that one and shit, you know?
Do it.
No.
Hey, did someone
We
got a
have
can of-
sometimes people come, they sit down for 10 minutes and they roll out and shit too.
I got one
you
on
know?
my key.
Okay. I got my key. Yeah.
But yeah, nah, super dope and shit, dude.
Gracias.
Oh, there you go.
And then
Thank
to
you.
kind of we're going into an hour here, bro. To try and cap it off for a little bit, you know.
Okay.
Going to you, Destructive. Where do you see yourself, like in the next 5 years, bro? Like for the Destructive brand and the 203 studio. So I would assume you have two different visions for it, right? That kind of mesh together, right?
Right.
That's my opinion. I don't know what.
Yeah,
you got,
no,
but,
they pretty
you
much
know?
go hand in hand. So as I grow, 203 grows, we all grow, you know? But as for plan wise, I just want to keep doing what I'm doing because whatever it is that I'm doing has been working for the past 10 years. You know, every year is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So whatever I'm doing, I'm just going to keep doing that. And, you know, as long as I'm waking up and working within the music field, you know, I'm happy. You know, my life's good. I'm good in my heart. Everything else is a blessing. I'm already blessed, you know. Like just being able to do this every day, wake up, do this every day, work with artists, be in the studio with Mindoff. Like I already feel blessed. So everything else on top is just a blessing.
Right.
And I'm good with that. You know, if I could die like that, I'm straight. I'm happy. I'll go good, you know?
Dope. And what about you, Mindoff? Like in 5 years or so, bro? Like what's your plan right there?
Oh, man. I mean, I think to just like ultimately what's the guiding thing is growing 203. I just want 203 to do as best as we can. I would love to have a family at some point. That's like something that I would like to do. And I just want to get really good at guitar, and I want to record music till I die.
That's what's up, dude. And you're getting there and shit. No?
Hell yeah.
I mean, you just got to record for another 25, 35 years. And shit,
yeah, hopefully not for just another 6 more months.
Yeah, no. Nah. Oh, that's dope, dude. And then like going to you, dude, Destructive. So like, if somebody was trying to be a videographer, bro, what were some of the worst experiences you encountered that you can tell somebody so they don't have to go over the same shit, you know? Like if it was somebody young that they had a $500 camera, they just spent all their money in it, bro, and they're trying to go ham on this. Like what's some advice you would give them that you wish you would have known? You're like, damn, that's a hard one.
Yeah, it's very difficult. Yeah.
Because you had a lot of mistakes and shit?
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. In the beginning.
You mentioned earlier, try.
Yeah, I feel like I've gone through so much already. Like, you know, bad things. Like I said, trial and error and stuff like that. But somebody who's just picking up the camera, I don't know. Just don't stress out, you know, and just keep learning. Like, don't ever feel, because I feel like in the beginning I would feel like, damn, why does my shit not look like his? Why does my shit not look like his? Like, what am I doing wrong? You know, but as you grow, like, you'll figure it out.
Oh, okay.
So don't stress out. Just keep going until your shit looks like how you want it to look like.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, that's dope. Good advice for sure. Yeah. You know, I used to record videos in 4K and send them in text message to the next guy, and then they used to upload them, and it would be blurry as fuck.
Oh, damn.
And I kept telling myself, why the fuck is it blurry? It looks dope on my phone and shit. Yeah. But it I guess they compress the files when you send them through text message. So use a what do they call it? An actual transfer, right?
Yeah, like use WeTransfer, use email, use something.
So I learned that the hard way. It took me a while to figure it out too. Shit, you know? Everybody was like, "Yeah, that shit's shitty as fuck, bro."
Or when you or like how me, I record videos all high quality and shit, and I email them. I make sure I do everything right. Then they upload them on their phone, and they're just 1080p or 720. I'm like, damn.
You know, that's funny you mentioned that because Mark Ford was on here the other day, and I told him about that video, the keep slipping, keep falling, and he's like, "Hey, why'd you guys upload it in 1080p?" You're like, "Well, I wish I in 4K, you know, YouTube." So I was like, dude, I don't even know what that means and shit, you know? So I was like, it matters, right?
You upload it on your phone, huh? Whoever upload it on their phone. Yeah, that's
what it does and shit?
Yeah, you have to upload it from a desktop or a laptop or something, so it can be at the fullest quality. I can tell easily, you know? I can tell easily.
So, you know, when we first started the podcast and shit, we were filming off the iPhone in 4K and uploading it directly from the phone. So it wasn't never even being in 4K, huh?
Oh, shit.
So I was just saving that memory for nothing. Does it work the same way if it was 1080p? Would it downgrade it to 720 or it's just
Nah, it's just 1080. Yeah, I think from 4K down probably. I'm assuming, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's messed up, huh? Yeah. Damn. Like silly mistakes like that, you know?
Like, damn.
And it makes your work look like, damn,
it makes it look like, it looks like, now it looks a little grainy. Now it looks this. I'm like, damn, my shit don't look like that. My shit's crispy.
Crispy, yeah. Like a fucking Dickies on starch and shit.
There you
go. What about you, Mindoff? Dude, somebody's just gonna start engineering tomorrow, bro. They're gonna show up to the studio and see all them fucking buttons and shit. Like,
I would say, bro, the fastest way to get good is to learn by someone that's better than you. That's the fastest way, because you just don't know what you don't know. And then also too, that there are just things that just take time that you can't rush. Like, it just takes time to get ears for things. It doesn't matter if someone points it out to you. It might take you 2 years of just finally being able to actually hear that, you know? So you got to be patient and learn from people that are been doing it.
Yeah. And me, I'd rather somebody tell me, hey, that shit's shitty as fuck, bro, than to tell me like, hey, you're doing a great job and shit, and then you keep on trucking in the wrong direction and shit. You know?
Yeah, there's a middle ground. You can be gentle.
Yeah, be like,
you need those people though to tell you like, yo, like, hey, hey, you know.
Are you sure you want to upload that?
Yeah, just hear it. Just hear it.
Yeah.
I'm more of like a that's all right, but how about you considered this? I'll just say that's shitty.
You know what
What the
sucks
fuck?
about me though? I hate constructive criticism, but I need it.
That's
dude.
what I'm
You get me?
saying.
And I just be like, they'll tell me something, I'd be like, yeah, well, why don't you try it and shit? You know, like,
Yeah.
But you know, you do need it, so you got to learn to be
You just gotta
receptive.
package
for
it
sure.
right. You
Yeah,
just gotta
yeah,
package
for real,
it right.
Yeah.
I've always learned from the corporate world where it's like it's not you, it's us, man.
Oh,
You
dude.
know, we need to get better and shit.
Yeah.
You know,
I
like
hate the
using that verbiage and shit.
I hate the way people talk at corporate jobs. Though. Let's circle back to that.
Let's
Rohit.
circle back
Oh
and
my
shit,
god!
man.
I just
You
want
know?
somebody to tell me. Just fucking tell
Just
me.
tell me.
Yeah.
It'll
You
be
know
a
what?
lot faster. It'll just hurt for a second, but we just keep moving
Like,
from
rip
there.
the
You know?
band-aid off.
Per
and
my
shit,
last
huh?
email, that's when you know someone's mad.
Oh yeah, for my last email and shit.
Whoa! It's
I used to
fighting
know a
words.
guy that would write emails all caps, bro, but it's just because he didn't know the caps was on.
Oh,
And shit, you know?
like he's yelling.
So quick question then, dude. First job, dude. You show up to your first videographer job. What's that like for you, dude?
Stressful. That's like the biggest thing. It's stressful because you don't know what you're doing in the first day. You know, you don't know what you're doing the first day. It's just like you don't know if you're doing a good job or not. You know, like, and then everybody. Okay, this is a big one for me. Like for many years, like everybody's giving you something like you should be. Oh, you should film this. Hey, what if you get that? Hey, and I'm just trying to please everybody. Like, okay, okay, I got you. Okay, I got you.
End up with like 4 hours of footage.
Yeah,
and
and then we're shooting all day, like literally like 10 hours, you know, and now there's 10 hours of footage and it's just like, that's very unnecessary.
that's 10 hours you have to go through.
Yeah,
after editing this
yeah.
shit, huh? Yeah, that's one thing that when we were filming the podcast, I noticed like, hey, dude, like if we do it 3 hours, right? Like that's 3 hours we have to go through to cut and chop up.
Tell
and
me
shit,
about it,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
And then you have to watch it over again. So you
Yeah.
gotta watch it. If you make from 3 hours, you get 1.5 hours. You gotta watch 1.5 hours of that shit after, you know?
Yeah.
So I hate editing, dude. So I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Power to you, bro. For sure, man, 'cause, you know?
Appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. And what about you, Mindoff? First studio session, bro.
Dude,
you know?
I remember my first studio session. It was like, it's like stepping inside like a spaceship, dude. It was like, wow, there's like big monitors and like I get to sit in the captain's chair, you know? It was,
Everybody's looking to you. Like, what do I do?
yeah, there was, you know, at first, like there are always, especially like I remember in the beginning, I was worried about like the little problem solving things, like, hey, the mic's not working, like why, you know? But honestly, for me, like I think after the first month, about anything that could have went wrong that I had to figure out how to fix did, and I haven't had I mean, knock on wood, a single session where something went wrong and I didn't know what to do in like a matter of a couple of seconds, you know?
Yeah.
So it's a little intimidating, but I mean, it's magic. It's magical being inside of a studio. It's like my first day was like, it was like a dream. It was like a dream, you know?
Oh, yeah. Some of the first podcasts when we started going live, I showed up and the laptop was in charge, so we couldn't do shit. And it was
damn.
already 5 minutes before it started.
Oh,
and shit. And then I guess that laptop only has 2 ports, so you can't charge, and we need both ports and
damn,
shit. You know? So yeah, that's a lessons learned and shit.
Yeah.
And we've also broken a lot of stuff too and shit, so then we don't know what to do after and shit. You know.
Yeah.
Nah, but yeah, that's what's up, man. You know, anything else you guys want to point out there? Some promos or anything you guys are doing right now and shit, bro? You know.
I mean, make sure to slide through to 203 Studios in the city of Oxnard if you're looking for some, you know, for some high quality music, engineering. You know, we got Mindoff right here, you know, working his magic, and he's gonna get you right, you know. And other than that, you know, thank you guys for letting us come through to your platform and you know, come through and chop it up with you. You know, appreciate that and thank you.
Yeah, anytime, man. It's been a long time waiting for sure, dude. You know, and
for
me
real.
and you hardly know each other. And
I know,
shit,
I
dude.
know. This is like
But
the
I know
longest we
Mindoff
kicked it.
really good and shit, you know?
Hey, but I want to
Yeah.
know, what's that 3D printer for?
So this right here does metal and silicone and shit or something like that.
Oh, silicone?
Yeah,
you guys
so-
making sex toys in it?
Nah, so we try and make anything we
Oh,
can and
uh-huh,
shit.
uh-huh,
Now we
uh-huh.
sell ghost guns and shit. Nah, I'm just kidding. Shit. Hey, scratch that out the record. We do not sell any weapons of any kind.
They don't
here
sell
and shit,
ghost
dude.
guns. They sell dildos. Don't worry.
Nah, so actually, I'm a product manager and shit by trade, bro. So we do a lot of product development. So I run a lot of prototypes off the 3D printer. So like we show clients, basically, they give us their idea and then we create the CAD files and all that for them, branding, logos, websites, we bring their product to market, and then we make prototypes to show them how it would look. And then before we manufacture it for them in China, we bring it in. We do all the logistics, marketing materials, production, project management, everything for them, so that we get it here and then ship it out to their customers for them, or ship it out directly to them.
Wow.
So we have 3D printers. We do our own shirt printing too. That's why we have the DTG printer.
Okay.
So we do a lot of the branding for ourselves, for the West Factory, our clothing and all that stuff.
That's
cool. All we always got hot shit coming out right now. Like right now we got support the podcast t-shirts for $25. DM us for one of those and shit. $25 includes the shipping anywhere. So that's like a bargain, dude. You know, that's like a $25 shirt. I don't even think people buy shirts for $25 no more, no?
30 and up.
30 and up, huh?
Only
You know what is $30? Support the podcast. Shit.
Yeah, I'm only selling shirts for that cheapest. Sheen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Sheen. Huh? If you're willing to wait 12 to 14 weeks.
But not
for
after
it,
those tariffs, baby.
Oh, I know.
Not after those tariffs.
Those tariffs are killing everybody and shit, you know? But definitely appreciate everybody that came through. Appreciate 203 Studios, Mindoff, Destructive for coming through, messing with us out here, dude. You know, just remember to shop on our website, the www.westfactoryshop.com. We got 15% on all orders. Hit us up for our shows coming up. We got Oxnard, Yellow Hill, and Young Dopey. We got tickets, and we got our Eventbrite link that we'll put on the description as well too. And then we got the Salem, Oregon show headlining Young Dopey, man. Make sure you guys stay tapped in. We got a lot of shit going on. Appreciate y'all on a Wednesday. And have a good night.
Cheers.
Yes, sir. Much love. Let's get it.